I think it can, but what makes Steven Spielberg's movie stand in its own space is that it's a modern setting in contemporary America, and the story is not tight to H.G. Wells' story, just by the fact it's in contemporary America, contemporary characters. The storylines have been developed in a way that Mr. Spielberg must have thought was appropriate for his interpretation. I've stayed true to H.G. Wells' story. I fell in love with this Victorian tale. To me, human society in the 1890s with rifles and cannons wasn't much of a fair fight against an alien force arriving on Horsell Common in Woking in Surrey with these incredible machines and unbelievable weaponry. Martians that are all brain with a superior intelligence. Not much of a fair fight. And that to me made it even scarier. And not just on the recording, but certainly in the show, we've even evolved that sort of fear factor that much more. So I fell in love with this quite visionary tale that H.G. Wells created. And I think that's why, in a way, a movie set in contemporary America called the same story and loosely based on the book can live in the world that we're doing as a musical interpretation. I would like to have the marketing budget that Mr. Spielberg has with his $180 million blockbuster. It's funny, I've never seen it as a live-action feature film, but anybody who has seen or will come to see The War of the Worlds will see a 100-foot wide screen. It's about 25 feet tall. And we have an animated film that runs in perfect sync to the live performance. Now, there's times when that animation is very much in your face as a feature film. There are times when we have live performers on stage or something else that's happening where it's supportive, almost like good movie music supports at times, and other times it comes straight out at you as featured music. So it's not a feature film as if you're going to sit there and watch it, but it works in the context of the show. But so much of that material, it's high definition, it's the highest quality, keeps getting updated, and now with the new generation expanded, we would be using a large quantity of it as source material to build an animated feature film, and that's been a long-held dream of my own, because that's how I do see it working. We were working on the animated feature film, and it was only because the tour came around unexpectedly. In fact, it wasn't even a tour. It started off as a one-off concert rendition at the Royal Albert Hall, and it went on sale, and it sold out in about 2 hours, and the box office of the Royal Albert Hall reported to our promoters here in the UK, is it enough ticket demand for about another 10 to 12 shows, just to let you know that. We can't offer you the dates, but you might want to know it, and it really grew from that. And because we've been working on the film, and also I'd been working for several years on a large-scale live presentation, more for stadiums. I had all these models in my studio, highly developed storyboard. We were very able to quickly turn it into what became an arena tour. And with it, we moved all the animation team who were working on the film to meet the deadline of the first tour, because we wanted to use animation as one of the ingredients of this multimedia extravaganza to work in perfect sync with the live performance, as well as all the other things that are happening all around you. So we started on the film and we wound up with an arena tour, but the animation keeps developing, and perhaps right after this next tour completes, we'll get back to it and develop it further. No, it's a long-held dream, and I won't let go of that. Well, I think it started with my dad, so I'd probably say it was still my dad, even though he passed away now some 15 years ago. He never saw the arena productions. He just believed in me, in the sense that aside from handing me this book, he was always the one backing me to go for it. Don't just settle for what perhaps might be normal. He was a singer, an actor. He went into stage production, a writer. So he understood the highs and the lows, the things that you can't control. and I think that gave me enough of a backbone, so to speak, to take the good with the bad, and I saw it through, and I saw it through with him. The design of our show is almost like an accordion, because you go the smallest arenas, and there aren't many of them that we play, but we do play, as you mentioned, like Brighton, but we play Eastbourne, Cardiff, but even in Amsterdam we played 3 shows at the Heineken Music Hall. Gorgeous acoustics, but they're about 4,000 seaters. Then it expands into an arena like the O2, which is upwards of 20,000 people. Most of them are between probably about 8 and 14,000, and the show has to be designed to accommodate not just the size of the audience, but the stage size, the height, the shape. You know, some are like bowls, some are squares, some are their own shape in their own way. So we've been very fortunate that the production team have all been there and done that. They've got the T-shirt. They've worked in every arena of the world, stadiums, you name it, with the biggest artists and shows. Nothing phases them, and they've been almost inspirational to me, because I throw at them ideas for new ingredients, and first thing is they'll laugh at most of the things on the wish list, and then they'll say, that one will work. Now, why will that one work when this one, to me, sounds just as exciting creatively, and you're saying it won't? They said, because it won't work. It won't work. The idea is good, but it's just not going to convert into a traveling show. If it was like in a theater in the West End, or one place that you plunked your show down, and you can do it night after night after night in this one environment, yeah, it's a different thing. Your idea will work for that. It just won't work for it's a traveling circus, you know, of almost 140 people, 10 trucks. It's big, and so it has to be clever in what you bring into the show creatively. And we have illusions, we have things that just happen all around in perfect sync. Not just our 35-foot tall 3-ton fighting machine. You know, there's a lot of things, and I learn every production more and more from this incredible team of people.